Okay, guys, here's part two. We're gonna go with Matt the Hammer Hamill. He defeated the Huntington Beach bad boy Tito Ortiz by unanimous decision. What did you guys think of Tito's performance?
Guys first.
Thank you guys. No, I thought Tito. I was really expecting Tito to just be a shell of a man that he once was. But the fact of the matter is, even though he lost, he really did hold his own. He really still looked like in prime condition, a guy that can still go on for a few more fights in his UFC career.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he looked good. He was even adding kicks to his repertoire, which was really cool. He was. I firstly thought that he should have wrestled a little more and pushed against the cage and maybe worked some clinches.
Yeah, but you gotta wonder with a guy like Tito, especially with his age, is his gas tank.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. But I mean, like, what else could he do? You gotta take the risk sometimes. His stand-up didn't look that bad.
He looked fantastic in the stand-up.
I was like, wow, he looks really good. Actually, this looks like the best stand-up I've seen from Tito.
I'm telling you, if he fight with anybody else, like taking the hit the
Oh
way
yeah,
Matt,
especially those knees. Yeah, he would have knocked.
He would knock somebody out already.
Yeah.
But Matt is just such a monster, I mean,
I could take a hit.
Man, yeah, Hamill. It took like five. I think it was like 5 body kicks from Rich Franklin to finally go down. Like, he just take him and push forward, and all of a sudden after like the 5th one or so, I don't know if it's the 5th one, but it was a lot. Almost, and then he's all like, oh man, he takes so much punishment, man.
I remember
Hamill.
Tito give like 2 clean shots right in the body, the kick. Matt didn't even feel the pain, he just kept going forward. It's like, that guy's a freaking robot.
The guy's a freaking zombie.
Yeah. As far as like Hamill's performance, though, like, he really comes off like a mid to upper mid tier guy.
Yeah.
Very just competent, but not, kind of sloppy at times too.
Yeah.
I think he won a lot of the fight on the takedowns, but he didn't really do too. I mean, he hit some ground and pound on Tito, but not a lot of ground and pound.
Yeah. If anybody's stock went up in this fight, I have to imagine it'd be Tito.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, but again, the thing is, Matt doesn't go down. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
I can take a beating. Yes.
You have to outquick him. I mean, that's the thing. He's kind of a plotting guy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Some of the takedowns that he got on Tito were not even set up.
Absolutely.
That was the thing. You gotta move laterally, and you gotta move. Do it. Rich Franklin had a great game. He out game planned Matt Hamill. That's the thing. Don't go in a straight line with this guy. Move laterally. Move side to side. That's the thing. As far as where does Tito go next, though?
Yeah, that's the thing you gotta imagine. Just this was. I don't want to say it wasn't a gimme, but you have to imagine that this was sort of booked with Tito's interest in mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a winnable fight for Tito, and he lost it. Granted, Tito's coming off of 1 year, almost a year layoff, and then the other thing is that Hamill's been pretty active. He just had a big win over Keith Jardine.
Yes.
And because he beat Jardine and now Tito, I kind of think that he should fight somewhere the upper echelon. Like, I don't think he's upper echelon material, but because he has those wins over, like, the upper mid guys, I think he should get, like, the winner Brandon Vera versus Thiago Silva. I think that works.
You kind of have to do it, yeah.
Well, skill-wise, I don't think he's there. I agree with you, but like you guys said, no, he win. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't expect Tito to win tonight. So who knows? Maybe the winner of the Brandon Vera Thiago Silva correction. Maybe he might pull another upset.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
I'm pretty sure he might.
Yeah.
Look at the way he fights, but he's very clumsy. He's just taking a shot left and right. I don't know that kind of fighting skill how long can he hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But where are Tito gonna go?
That's the harder question. Yes.
Like I said, I say Stephan Bonner. Stephan Bonner has a fight with Igor Prokrajic. It's Prokrajic, or something like that. And if Bonner wins, just give it. Bonner Tito makes sense to me.
That sounds like actually a fun match.
Yeah.
That could be a fight night main event right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, how about you? What do you think Tito might get caught?
It's hard to say.
He's got name value still.
Yeah, he's still got name value. He's a for sure UFC Hall of Famer. I gotta imagine they gotta at least give him one more fight, especially if they want to do something like that.
One other thing is you got to think about too. If they let go of Tito, Strikeforce is just gonna pick him up right away.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tito versus Cavalcante, Tito versus King Mo. I mean, oh wow, just the trash talk alone would just be epic. I mean,
Wow, maybe they should let him go.
Yeah, King Mo versus Tito is like money right there for Strikeforce. Or Dan Henderson versus Tito.
That's gonna be fun.
So yeah, UFC wouldn't be too wise to let. Because Tito still has, he looked good. If he looked bad, I'd be like, yeah. If he looked like Coleman or something, or just some crap fight, some like really old fight, he didn't look old. Like Chuck Liddell looked old.
Yeah,
you know? He looks old. He looks slower.
Tito's condition is great. I mean, he looks great. He looks just like
he looks fine actually.
Yeah.
His stand-up's more than competent. Actually, it was pretty crisp actually. With the kicks, he has a wrestling ability. I think he stopped the takedown from Hamill, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
So yeah, man.
Unlike his like you were saying, Chuck, and for another example, Randy. I'm not watching Tito thinking, man, this guy's really past his prime. This guy really to the degree I could say his best days have come and gone, but he still looked like an incredibly competent fighter.
It's just that he's still good, but I think everyone else just kind of surpassed. The sport's surpassing him in a way. But he's still good.
Yeah.
I agree with Chris on this one. He does. I think he actually doing best. I mean, tonight's incredibly good. I mean, it might be his prime. It's just everybody else is surpassing him already.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not an old UFC anymore.
Yeah.
It's a new age, new UFC.
Yeah.
You don't get in the program, you're not gonna win.
Well, speaking of getting to the program, I think that you gotta give it to Diego the Nightmare Sanchez for beating Paul Thiago in what I think is the fight of the night.
Yeah.
Man, Sanchez really came back from his loss to John Hathaway, man. Paul Thiago looked great. I actually wrote in my fighter breakdowns that Paul Thiago will not give up. I remember against Campman, he was about to get choked, and he did a cage walk, and near the very end of the fight, he just would not get choked out. Dude, Paul Thiago was super tired in the third round, got mounted, was getting punched to death by Tito. But you see Paul Thiago trying to throw punches from the bottom of Mount still. Super tired. I mean, the guy just does not want to give up. He actually has a 2-fight losing streak now. I would think the UFC would be stupid to cut Paul Thiago. I mean, he's still a very good fighter.
There's no reason they're gonna cut him. Look, he got dodge choke anywhere. I was so afraid while he does my work,
Yeah. Even in the third round, super tired. Oh no! It's like so second nature, right? It's like he does it in his sleep or something. Does it to the drug lords he busts or something. You know what I mean? Shoot, man. Yeah, what do you think of the fight, Tony?
Well, you guys have been talking a lot Paul Thiago, but let's face it. The star of this fight, without a shadow of a doubt, was Diego Sanchez.
Absolutely.
My God.
That guy was awesome.
That was the old Diego Sanchez that we knew and loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially a friend of Chris was saying, especially when he was making his way into the cage, he really, those losses have really got to him, and that maybe the old Diego was just a relic of the past. But Diego just silenced all of his critics by putting, in my opinion, I'm sure you guys would agree, the fight of the night.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's cool, too, because Paul Thiago, I felt, had round 1. I think when the judges still gave it 30-27, I was like, really? Round 1 was definitely Paul Thiago.
Yes.
I heard a couple weird, 30-27s and stuff. One of the judges was two judges were 29-28 for something, right? And then one judge would be 30-20. I was like, the fuck? The F are you just,
Cecil Peoples was judging tonight, right?
Yeah, well Cecil Peoples was one of them.
Just maybe.
There's a huge slam by Diego Sanchez that we all know.
Oh my God!
Amazing, dude.
Spectacular. Just, a la Matt Hughes, just hoists Paulo Thiago halfway across the octagon, just stomping, and the announcer's like, just screaming at the top of his lungs as he slams Paulo Thiago to the mat.
You see the honor, you see the passion, you see the freaking angry. It's a very angry man. Well, two angry men in the cage. In a scary fight. I don't want to be that cage. That's scary.
Yeah, but see, that raises a good question now. Who's Diego Sanchez fight next? There was a lot of talk that he said he was actually going to permanently cut down to 155. There's a money fight there against Kenny Florian.
Oh my god, that could be fun. Good fight.
Kenny Florian versus Diego Sanchez. The thing with Diego, I mean, against Guida in the first round he showed it, but he kind of looks drained sometimes, so you don't know if he's going to have that same energy as in welterweight and lightweight. You know, that's the thing, you know?
Yeah.
If he fights in welterweight, I think there's a money fight with him against Nate Diaz.
Yes.
Because he's fought his brother Nick in, like, one of the UFC's top 100 fights of all time. So, yeah. And Paulo Thiago, I mean, there's a lot of guys he can fight. I hope they give him something kind of easy this time, though, because it's just like, okay, Paulo Thiago, you know, first fight in the UFC, hey, you got Josh Koscheck. Second, okay, you won that. Second fight, you got John Fitch. Third fight, you got Jake and Volkman, which was a little easier, but then it's like, Volkman was a hot prospect, so it's not an easy fight. After that's Mike Swick. After that's Martin Kampmann. And then after that's Diego Sanchez. So it's like, get the kind of easy fight, man. just come on.
Leave Paulo Thiago alone.
Dude, the guy's a hard worker, man. He's like, oh, take it, no problem. I can fight this. But man, I gotta say, even though Paulo Thiago lost, dude, this guy fight until he died.
No, after the fight, I mean, he was just like against the cage, and the first thing he did was he sat against it and was just drinking water. You know, but Diego Sanchez is good. I'm really glad he looked good too, because like, you know, I'm glad he's back with Greg Jackson too, because it really showed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, he's there. Like, he's finally there again. You know, Hathaway was a speed bump. You know.
But again, that fight. You talk about jiu-jitsu. It's amazing jiu-jitsu for both of them. You talk about striking, crazy striking. You know, wrestling technique. You ask, you name it. It's all there.
Yeah.
Gotta be the greatest.
At several
fight.
points, it looks like he was going to tap out Paulo Thiago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paulo Thiago also gonna tap out the Diego Sanchez. I mean, this is just gonna be the best fight of tonight.
Yeah. So, as far as the next fight goes, which is the co-main event, Jake Shields beat Martin the Hitman Kampmann by split decision. Here's the thing with Shields. He cut down to 170. This is the first time he made the cut after 2 years. So yeah. Yeah. Actually, just get to part 3.
We have a lot to say about just you. Maybe let's go part 3.
Yeah.
Part 3 might be a better idea. Part 3?
Yeah, part 3.
Alright, part 3.